Hi, how are you all guys doing? I'm Janki and welcome back to my channel. And today I'll be looking at some book recommendations Google has for my personality type, and maybe then later I'll have a follow-up video wherein I would have read all those books and we'll see whether those really resonate with my personality or not. So the personality type that I found is through the Myers-Briggs personality test, and the personality type that was accorded to me was ISFJ, which is the defender type. ISFJ? Yes, ISFJ. And so, yes, we'll look at the books and their synopsis. And whether, first of all, I'll judge whether the synopsis is appealing to me or not. And then, if I plan to read some of these books, we'll have a follow up video and let us see if they are really for me or not. So, yeah, let us begin. Okay, so the first book that I saw is 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. And first of all, I don't plan on reading this book because I've already seen the movie and I know movie and book. There's much difference to them, but I still don't see myself reading 5 Feet Apart. Addressing the question whether that book will fit my personality type or not, I don't really know because it's kind of a sad story. So I think that aspects really fits in well. It's also a romantic sad story. So I don't really know. Like, other book that is recommended to me is Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare, and I've read it. I've read it and it's good. I could s- I can't say if it resonates with my personality style, but that is for sure that I enjoyed reading that book. They have multiple characters, multiple storylines going on. Okay, so they also gave this description. So you are incredibly caring and down to earth. Thank you. You will love Cordelia from Chain of Gold and Stella from 5 Feet Apart. Okay, so they're mentioning the reason why the personality type, will love these books. So Cordelia, um, I like her character, but I'm not all over her character. So that's a little debatable. Now, Stella from 5 Feet Apart, again, I saw the movie, so can't really have an holistic opinion. So, Stella's love of structure will be totally relatable, and Cordelia's drive to figure out who's behind the attacks killing the London Shadowhunters in Chain of Gold will make it impossible for you to put the book down until you've finished it. I see. Okay. So we'll exit this site now and we'll see what other sites have to say. This I keep forgetting ISFJ, the defender. Oh my god. And the book this particular site has to recommend to me is none other than The Nightingale. Now I can say this for sure that this site has the perfect recommendation for my personality type. I absolutely loved this book. This book, if you have been following me for some time, you know, is my one of my favorite books. Historical fiction, women's war in World War II. It has everything I want in a book. Site, I'll say it has bang on recommendation for my personality type. It has. So it says, in a tiny French village at the beginning of World War II, German soldiers requisitioned all the homes in town. Vianne and her sister Isabella forced to house German soldiers in their homes. The sisters are very different. Vianne wants to keep her head down and survive, while Isabel rebels against the Nazis. An ISFJ person will appreciate this historical fiction with a touch of romance. Elle and Dakota Fanning star in the movie that will be released next year, I know. I'm waiting for that movie. So yes, I'll say definitely Kristen Hanna's books are my personality type. Okay, The Nightingale. I still can't get over the fact that this site recommended me The Nightingale. Let us go to some other site. Again, I have the book. And the book that this site recommended me is none other than A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Why would you recommend this to me? I don't understand. Like, why would anyone recommend this book to anyone? Like, it's good, it's amazing, it's beautifully written, it's a masterpiece. But why? I really need to read the description because I don't understand why this book is being recommended to my personality type. Okay, so we'll read it. You are a quiet, observant person who loves maintaining harmony among her friends. Okay. So you will find yourself mesmerized by the story of four graduates from a small college in Massachusetts who moved to New York to follow their dreams and escape their demons, chart their paths as their relationship deepen and painful secrets from their past emerge. Okay, so I appreciate the reason that this site gives for recommending this book is because of those four graduates' friendship, and no reason other than that, because I don't really want to read, like, I like sad things. That would be very very true to say, because I read the Nightingale. I love all Christian Hannah's books, so this book is also the saddest book of the eternity. So I really am getting confused now, just rethinking now, that are these books really my type? Like, I never gave a thought to this book in particular. I gave it a 4 stars if I remember. And I loved the writing. It was so beautifully written. I loved how dark, deep this book went, and how miserable at one point was to read this book, not because of its bad execution or storyline, but because of what happened to the characters in this book. I'm really rethinking. And how come has this happened that I've read two, no, three books out of the four that have been recommended to me by now? How come? I think I just know my personality too well, and so that is why I've read the books that suit me. I want to believe that. Okay, moving on to another site. And it says the one classic book for you. Okay, so they'll recommend some classics. Okay, good. Let us see. I'm in a mood to read classics these days. The book that has been recommended, the classic that has been recommended to me, my personality type, is The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. So, Victor Hugo, I've just heard of that classic. How is it pronounced? I don't know, but I'll pronounce it wrong and you'll correct me, okay? Les Miserables. Les Miserables. It's a French term, so yeah, the pronunciation may differ. But let us read the description. I don't really know about this book. So, ISFJs want to make the world a better place and interact with their fellow human beings, but they also want to hole up in a bell tower and never talk to anyone ever again. They're sensitive yet logical, shy yet devoted to others, and they should all read Victor Hugo's The Hunchback of Notre Dame to work through all their complicated introvert feelings. I think that description was very good. I think I could resonate, I could relate to it. So let us see what this book is about. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Historical novel set in medieval Paris under the twin towers of its greatest structure and supreme symbol, the Cathedral of Notre Dame, is the haunting drama of Quasimodo the Hunchback, Esmeralda, the gypsy dancer, and Claude Frollo, the priest tortured by the specter of his own damnation. Shaped by a profound sense of tragic irony, it is a work that gives full play to Victor Hugo's brilliant historical imagination and his remarkable power of description. Let's move to another. I don't know how many are there. I'll just try all the ones that I see in this first page. Okay, so this site has grouped certain personality types and given some common recommendation. So the one that is being recommended to me along with the logistician, the executive, and the council personality type, it's called The Mockingbirds by Daisy Whitney. I've never heard of this book. Okay, so let us see what it reads. The glittering halls of Themis Academy seem perfect from outside, but the students inside know that's not true. Alex Patrick knows when she's date raped that the school board won't do anything. So she turns to the Mockingbirds, an underground organization dedicated to protecting students. As guardians, we are sure you'll want to join the Mockingbirds. How come I've not heard of this book before? Like not even by booktubers. That's that's certainly a book I could see myself reading. The Mockingbirds by Daisy Whitney. Another book that is being recommended is Frost Blood by Ellie Blake. So it reads, Ruby is a fire blood with powers of heat in a world ruled by vengeful frost blood ruling class. When Ruby comes out of hiding, she'll do whatever it takes to protect her kind and the ones she loves. If Ruby could take the Myers-Briggs test, we're sure she'd be one of these types. Cool. Doesn't really speak to me much, frost blood, but let us see. Okay, so this particular site has another site that I came to, bookriot.com. It has different genres for this different 16 different personality types, and for ISFJ they recommended historical fiction. They are perfect in their recommendation because I love reading historical fiction, and let us see what they have to say about it. So ISFJs are loyal, accommodating, and more social than more introverted types. They often have a deep respect in the past. Yes, I'm studying history as well. They are heart-centered folk, so historical fiction gives them a more personal window into the past. It's correct, kind of correct. I can read historical fiction. I love reading. Like most of the general fictions that I've read, they're mostly categorized into historical fiction. You can take the example of Kristen Hanna books. And I'm a huge Kristen Hanna fan. I'll keep mentioning her whenever I feel like. So enough of the recommendation I could get in a day. I think some of them I've read, and I really like the ones that I read. So I think these recommendations may also help me discover myself a little more deeply. So we'll see. That's all for this video. Thank you for joining me, and guys, do tell me if you have read any of these books and how do you like it. And yes, that's all for today. Thank you. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you like the video, and meet you next time.